Oh, hello. Hey, this is David with Mudslinger Pottery here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And as the title said, I am going to be giving you a tip on how to avoid the bisqueware blow up. If anybody has ever opened up a bisque kiln and seen their pots in 1,000 pieces, it is just devastating. So we're going to do that with a simple mirror. And I am going to show you how using a simple mirror will avoid the bisqueware blow up, like one of these right here. So just I wanted to say from the beginning, pottery is so humbling. If you get into pottery and you don't let things kind of slide off your back, after a while you're just going to learn, hey, it's only clay. I'm not gonna worry about this stuff. And you've got to just keep pressing on and keep trying a new pot. There are so many ways you can screw something up, from throwing a pot, maybe wiring the wire a little too high, picking it up and squeezing it, to trimming. Trim the whole bottom, trim a hole right in the bottom of your pot. And like all these things you learn as you're starting out, and all these things, everybody has made these mistakes. Glazing mistakes. How many people have had glazes just run completely off their pots, all over their kiln shelves? There's all kinds of issues, and you don't ever know what is coming out of that kiln until you finally open up the kiln, pull those pots, and actually take a look at them. And that's why it's like Christmas morning every time you open a kiln, because you're holding your breath, because you're not exactly sure what's coming out. You hope to, but you're not sure. But for me, and I've done this a number of times, and I'm calling it the bisqueware blow up, because it's one of those where you open the kiln and your pots are in 1,000 pieces, and it's always that time that, okay, you've got a week away from your next sale, and you're really pushing those pots. They're a little bit wet, but I can get them in the kiln, and the kiln will dry them, and it'll all be good. And then you open it up, pots everywhere. It's just a mess. So this is not my idea. This was given to me by somebody else, and I have adopted it, and I use this religiously now. Number one, when I'm loading a kiln, I try to make sure my pots are as dry as possible. Most of my stuff is functional ware, so they're fairly even walled, and I don't have areas where there might be a 2-inch thick area of clay versus a 1/2 inch. So if you're doing sculpture, you really have to dry it out. And that's where candling the kiln comes in. And when I say candling the kiln, I mean taking it up to about 180 to 190 degrees and just hold it there until the moisture is out of the pots. If you go too high, over 212, because 212 is the temperature where water turns to steam and your pots blow up if there's any water in those pots. So we want to keep it below that. So when you are firing your kiln and you want to candle it, what you do to program it, it'll ask the user number. Throw in a number, doesn't make any difference, whatever number you want. It'll ask the ramp. Ramp it to 180 degrees, you're fine right there. It'll ask the temperature. For your temperature, 180 degrees. For your hold. Now your hold will make a difference depending upon how wet your pots are. I just plug it in there for 5 hours, and I will keep checking to find out if the kiln is dry enough to get it going, get it started, and actually fire the bisque kiln. And I'm going to show you how I know, without having to reach my hand in and look at the pots, when the kiln is dry enough to fire. So I'm not firing at my studio today, but my girlfriend Jody and I will share her kiln occasionally, and we've got a bisque that is going to start today. So I am going to run you all over there, grab my camera, and I will show you once again the sequence for programming your kiln, and I will show you where the mirror trick comes in. And you are going to thank me so much. If you are someone who has ever opened your kiln to see those pots all a mess, all broken up, you are going to really love this. So come on with me. We'll go over to Jody's. And if you're not following Jody, hey, hit that Instagram, Jody Lynn Pottery. That's Jody Lynn Pottery on Instagram, and give her a follow. Her stuff is amazing. So let's go over to Jody's house and we'll get this thing programmed, and I'll show you what we've got to do. So come along with me. Thanks.
All right. So to avoid the pots blowing up, because there's water in the pots, we are going to candle the kiln. And candling means to take the kiln up to a certain temperature and hold it at that temperature until the moisture is out of the pots. So at 212 degrees is when the steam will blow up your pot. So you do not want to go over 212 degrees. So we're going to set it to 180 degrees and just hold it there. So we're going to enter the program, and I have it already set in here. So this is user 3. We're going to go enter. We're going to go to one segment. I'd hit 1. Ramp 180. Enter. And the temperature is going to 180. So we hit enter, and I'm going to hold it for 6 hours. Okay, so we're going to review the program. Ramp 1 to 180 degrees. Hold it at 180 degrees for 6 hours. And there we go. We're ready to go. And off she goes. Okay, this is where the mirror comes into play. If I take the mirror and I hold it at the top peep and I see moisture on the mirror, I know that my kiln and my pots still have moisture in them. So I will let it continue to candle until I can take the mirror and hold it up against that top peep and not see any moisture on it. This lets me know that the pots in the kiln are dry and they're ready to fire. So I hope that helps you. I hope that saves you from opening your kiln and finding broken pots all over the place. Thanks.
Okay, so I hope you learned something from that, and I hope you, if you have never experienced a bisqueware blow up, I hope you never do, because for me, those are always the worst. You know, I can deal with like trimming through the bottom of the pot, but the pots I've got in a bisque kiln, I've thrown them, I've trimmed them, I've dried them, loaded them up. I've spent some time with them, and that is not where I want to see them destroyed. I'd much rather see them destroyed picking it up off the wheel. So what? But these I've added handles to, and it's devastating. And it always seems to happen right before a show when you're pushing your pots too far. And so use this trick. Candle the kiln, use the mirror, and you'll know when that kiln is ready to fire. So on top of that, I want to thank everyone, all my new subscribers. I've just seen a boom in people subscribing to the channel, and I'm just amazed. I'm just humbled and appreciate it. So thank you to all the new subscribers, all the comments, all the questions. I do my best to answer the questions. Sometimes I'm not as fast as I'd like to be, but I'm hoping that this channel will become just, you know, your thoughts, your questions, maybe your comments to help me out. I know I'm no expert, but help any other new potters, intermediate potters who are looking to start making pots and maybe don't know all the tricks so far. So thanks again, and please help me to stay motivated to make some more videos. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Throw me a question, throw me a comment. I'd love to see that, and I will respond. And keep me going. I finished my spring sales. Very successful. I was really pleased with them, and I'm working into my summer schedule, so I don't I'm not as busy in the summer. So hopefully I can put some more of these videos out, give you some information, and maybe help you out. So once again, thanks again. Hope you all get out in your studios, go make some beautiful pots, and you all have a wonderful day. Thanks. This is David, Mudslinger Pottery. We'll see you.